Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing some NFL breaking news. Now, this is not a player signing to a new team, a player getting traded, maybe the Russell Wilson news some people wanted, but this is huge news for fantasy football as well as the scope of the NFL overall. NFL owners have voted today to approve the expansion of the regular season, going from obviously 16 games like normal, like it's been for 43 years, to 17 games, adding one additional week to the season. So normally it's a 17-week season, now an 18-week season. Preseason has also been reduced, going from 4 games down to 3 games, and this goes into effect this season. Is this good? Is this bad? That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Now, in my opinion, this is a bad move, especially when it comes to player safety and the happiness of the players. The players did not want this. This was voted kind of into last year. Now, it wasn't made official until this year, but last year when they got it to be like so that you could smoke the marijuanas in the league, this was one of the things that passed with that as well. And if you guys go back and check on my channel, I talked about this last year. I did not like this move then, and I do not like it now. Obviously, last year, they added the extra kind of team to the playoffs, obviously, on the NFC and in the AFC, 2 additional teams. And I think now, do you have to add another team? I feel like that is going to be something that's coming soon as well. More and more teams making the playoffs, because clearly this is for the money. This is not for the players. It is only for the money of the owners and the NFL. This is all this is for. This really does not help the players out at all. They are going to be getting beat up more. And overall, I understand why the players would be mad. They do not want to play this extra game. Now, how does this affect the salary cap? Are they having to pay the players more money now because they're playing a 17th game? Or is their game check reduced on a game-to-game basis? I do not know how that is going to end up happening, but players obviously are not going to like this. Now, when it comes to discussing this for fantasy football purposes, this news is humongous because fantasy football is normally a 16-week season. Typically, you cut off week 17. Most leagues do, because that people will be sitting week 17 if they make the playoffs. Now the question is, are players taking rest stops in the middle of the season? Like, is a guy who's going to play play all the fucking snaps on the field, right? You're thinking he's going to play 16 games. Is he going to cut back a couple games? Maybe now he only plays 15 games instead of playing the now 17 games that are in front of him. I honestly do not know. And for fantasy football purposes, I will continue to make my leagues 16-week seasons. We'll miss the other 2 weeks of the season because I genuinely feel as though players are going to get benched. Another thing that sucks about this is all the records are now fucked. Anything that was super impressive will still be super impressive in our minds, right? Obviously, guys throwing X amount of yards, rushing for X amount of yards, that's still crazy in our eyes. But in like 20 years, those records are going to get their backs blown out by the people playing potentially 17 games, if maybe they're not taking rest like I believe they would. So let me know what you guys think down below about this move. Do you guys like having an additional game on the season, or do you guys think this ends up hurting the NFL season and hurting fantasy football as a whole? And it's pretty interesting that they're only going to be playing 3 preseason games this season. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know again down below what you guys thought about this NFL breaking news.